بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. جزاكم الله خيرا. Picking up from where Brother Eaman left, subhanAllah, he's talking about a lot of the issues that our youth and even some of our older youth, those are in college, young professionals, are facing when they're on the ground, when they're out there in the corporate world and school and in the environments that they deal with every day. And so at MAS, we think about how are we going to actually find the solutions to address those issues. And we think about what do these youth and young professionals, what are they really searching for? Now, mashallah, spaces like this, like these conferences that we attend, even when they enter our masajid and our centers and they hear a khutbah or they hear like a reminder after Isha prayer, sometimes they leave these spaces and they are thinking, I have all these issues. Somebody's telling me that I have to be closer to Allah. Somebody's telling me I have to read the seerah and find the solutions there. Somebody's reminding me about my intention. But how do I actually go about changing these ideas or these things that I'm hearing? I'm trying to change myself. I'm trying to deal with my identity. I'm trying to find myself. How do I actually these things that I'm hearing from people, how do I make them become who I am? How do I change myself? And this is where MAS jumps in. This is our idea of tarbiyah, in which we believe that every individual, be they the youth or young professionals that are navigating the spaces out there, they need somebody who is like a life coach. And we know, subhanAllah, that many of our youth, they love to go to the gym, right? And they have a personal trainer. And they take them over, in 1 week, in 1 month, in 1 year, this is going to be your goal. This is how you're going to transform yourself. This is who you're going to become. You're going to become healthier. They look up to that coach, that individual who becomes somebody that helps them become, find themselves and become what they want to be. And so at MAS, we believe in this concept of slow and steady development and growth through somebody who represents a life coach, somebody that's going to take the hands of these young men and women and help them navigate and understand and decipher the messages that they're getting in these spaces, conferences, khutbahs, community spaces. How does that change me? Right? How do I become a person who is God-centered? How do I become an exemplary Muslim? How do I deal with these challenges of my hijab? And so we believe in spaces in which we bring these young men and women in small groups, in which we take them through this journey of transformation. Right? And in this journey of transformation, we help them find out slowly and steadily how they're going to decipher this information that they're going to get. And these mentors, we call them mentors in the MAS space. Life coaches, we call them mentors. Some people believe that because it's MAS, we're only helping them become better Muslims, right? But in MAS, we believe in tarbiyah as a holistic approach. Becoming a better Muslim means that you're sure about your identity. You're good with your time. You're an exemplary citizen. You want to serve others. You have ideas to give back. You're a leader. You're an agent of change. So really taking these young men and women from their challenges and making them realize how to decipher these challenges and how to actually look at their own skills and strengths that Allah has bestowed upon them and say, you're good at doing this. How about you use that to improve yourself? And even more, studies have shown that this generation, they find themselves and they find space and they find strength when they're serving others. That's why, for example, in our youth spaces, when we call, it's the day of dignity, we're passing out food to the homeless, we're helping, pass out jackets in the cold. You find lots of youth coming in, even non-practicing, what we call non-practicing. They find some sort of purpose in life when they're in those spaces. And so in MAS Tarbiyah, we believe that we develop our youth not just to become better Muslims, quote unquote, yes, become more God-centered, focus on their prayers, find their identity, but also to become people who find that pleasure and that hope and find themselves and their skills and their strength in serving others. And the core of that is that we give them spaces to be themselves, be there our masajid, be there our third spaces, our youth centers. MAS has almost 40 chapters across the country, as many of you may know. And this is what we aim to achieve. At a national level, we aim to give content and programming to our chapters and to people like yourselves to help you on a weekly basis work with these youth and these young professionals to help them navigate some of these spaces. When somebody's chosen from our MAS leadership to become that life coach or that mentor, we even give them guidance in terms of what are you trying to instill? How are you trying to help these young men and women who are facing these challenges? The first and foremost is to make them realize that they are Islamically oriented, that everything that they do revolves around should revolve around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a huge thing this mentor is trying to achieve. This takes time and effort, slow and steady growth, slow and steady tarbiyah. Slow and steady negative tarbiyah, as Brother Mazen just said in another session, is happening to our youth. They're very slowly being told who they're not supposed to be phobic of, or what they're not supposed to say, or how they're supposed to carry themselves. They're very being told that, is there really, am I the center of everything? Am I in control of my body? Is it I, or is it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? There is in our society a very slow and steady negative tarbiyah that's happening to our children. And what we're doing as MAS is doing the same counter effect, a slow and steady tarbiyah, a growth, holistic approach in which we tell them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the purpose, He is why, He is where you're heading, He is your goal, this is how you make choices, this is where you find yourself. And this takes time. Another objective that we want to share with our youth as we help them navigate their personalities and their identities and their struggles is becoming an agent of change. You can change yourself. You have the skills, you have the power, you have the knowledge around you. Now that the world that we live in, the social media, the World Wide Web has given us access to things that my generation didn't have. And so you have the ability to change yourself, to take control of yourself. And I'm here next to you as your murabbi, as your mentor, as your life coach. And also, when you change yourself, this MAS is not about me. I'm not gaining more knowledge. I'm not becoming the next great scholar. I'm actually doing this because I'm gonna change the world around me. When I change myself, when I know who I'm gonna be that agent of change. And that empowers our youth and makes them see beyond these challenges that they have and realize the power and the strength that they have to be greater and bigger, agents of change. We talk about being exemplary citizens. At MAS, this is something that we teach our youth also as they deal with these challenges. We talk about lifelong learning. You're gonna face these challenges when you're in high school. We're talking about being pretty and fitting in, like Brother Eaman said. When you're in college, you're dealing with a huge bombardment of atheism and the life that, the choices that people are making in terms of, the fight against religion itself, the concept of God itself. When you go to corporate space, if you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're part of, the spaces of, having to intermingle and having to go out with people, for happy night or whatever they call it, they have different changes. And we as MAS leadership take them on a lifelong journey of realizing that you're going to learn, you're going to change, you're going to become closer to Allah as you go through all of these challenges when you face them in different phases of your life. So this is what tarbiyah really is all about in MAS. And we have, the list goes on and on, but, if you want to speak later, inshallah, we have our cards. I can share my email with you and let you know about some of the programs, virtual platforms, online platforms, in-person, on-the-ground platforms we have in our chapters that are helping us achieve these with individuals one by one, inshallah. This is what MAS is all about, changing people in one at a time, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan for your time.